Welcome to the Ordinary Guy Garage. I'm Scott, Ordinary Guy, and today we're working on part 3 of the ongoing shop upgrade, so hang tight. All right, well, it's been a couple of weeks. I went outside, took a break from this, and me and the kids and my wife, we did some firewood. That's how we heat the house. So we had a bunch of firewood to split, and I kind of wrenched my back doing it, and I had to take it easy for a little bit. But I still made some progress in here, a lot of little tinkering around and a lot of boring stuff, but I got quite a bit done. So what I did, first off, was the paint. I talked about, I got my cans of paint in there, the Rust-Oleum hammered gray. I only used 1 quart, and it says to thin it down with, what did it say to thin it with? I can't remember, but whatever it said to thin it with was like 20 something bucks for a gallon, and so I ended up buying, because I didn't need that much, I ended up buying this here, this naphtha to go in there. And it said a pint, half a pint to a quart. It wouldn't even come out of the gun, it was way too thick. So I thinned it down, and I don't know, it was probably 2 to 1. 2 parts paint, 1 part naphtha, or maybe even thinner than that. I don't know. But anyways, I got it all painted, so let's walk back here and we will see it. All right, you can see here the paint. This is why I wanted to use the hammered paint. Came out pretty good. You could see some of the roughness right in there. And as you look down, you can see it if you look for it. And that's where, I think there was a section down here that was pretty good. But that's where this hammered, yeah, you can see some right in there, little imperfections in the metal, and that's just where, you know, I scraped the rust, I wire brushed the rust, but there's those little kernels or whatever you want to call it that don't really come off very well. So, and this said you can paint right over it, no primer needed. There's a pretty good at how this paint looks. Pretty nice. I like it. That's the seam in the metal from when they manufactured it. But I'm pretty happy with it. Sprayed out of the gun pretty good. You know, I had to thin it down some and whatever. You know, I'm not a painter, just like I'm not really a welder, so came out pretty good. The other thing I did here to finish up this rack or this loft was I had in between this leg and that leg in the back, there was one right here. And I didn't need it. When I put it together, it was too much. What was happening is the thing would wobble a lot because there was too many legs. So I took that one out and I took that one out, which gives me a little bit more room back there anyways, and it's plenty sturdy. The other thing I did was I added in the angle iron pieces here for support. This is 4 feet. Well, that's actually less than 4 feet, but this one here is 4 feet across. Now, I could have put more in there, but I didn't. I figure this is going to be fairly lightweight stuff up there, and that should be good. Worst case scenario, I add a piece in there. If it starts to look like it's not going to handle it very well, I'll add some more in and touch up the paint. No big deal. The other thing, wiring is just about completely done. Now I have, so like for my drill press here, it has its own outlet. So, you know, I don't have to run an extension cord anymore to run that. Over here, there's an outlet for my grinder. Then my cooler is now on a switch. This switch here is going to be for lights that are going to go underneath here, but I haven't got the lights yet. Again, the lathe has its own outlet right there. This right here is Bean's area, and you see he's got, you know, obviously an outlet for his bench. That's his toolbox, that's his Impala motor, and then we're going to build a bench right here for him. And the rest of the wall is done. Another outlet, mini fridge right there where it's going to go, and then that piece that little section right there is where the water heater and sink is going to go, the little mini water heater and sink. So I also have to insulate that corner right there when I do all of that. And the reason and this is as far as I'm going with the insulation for right now. The reason I haven't done the front is right along here it leaks, and right along there it leaks, and then I got a little bit of a leak right there in the roof. So I got to get all that figured out first. I got it figured out. I just got to deal with that first, and then I'll continue on with my insulation. So that takes care of that. Got all my stuff over here pretty much back in there. I'm not too happy about that being there. I might move that somewhere else. And just as an eyeball, this here is my this piece here, and there's another one over there, and another one over there. That's the old steel rack. And so what I'm thinking about doing is cutting these pieces off here, right there, and then making a shelf that goes along, you know, kind of another loft of sorts above my workbench there. It'll be freestanding, and that's a good way to get rid of some of that other metal and give me more storage. You know, there's a lot of things that I keep outside in my container that I'd rather have inside here, but I just don't want a big mess. So I can put some bins up top there of, you know, electrical stuff and whatnot. But again, another plug over here, and then I got a plug here for the bench, and then the bench itself actually has its own plug. It's had that for a while. This is now my welding. Well, the welding stuff is always here. I got the bandsaw over here. The compressor isn't here anymore. The compressor I moved out back. So we'll go ahead and go out there and take a look at it in just a minute. So my next project is going to be, yeah, because the compressor is actually outside in that corner out there. And so my next project is I need to build a doghouse cover kind of thing for the compressor. So that's what I'm going to do today, and then after that we'll get started on this thing here. And I think I'll build another one. I still have a couple more legs. I'll build another one of those freestanding shelves over Bean's area as well. So it's going to be pretty dialed in. I'm pretty excited. So anyways, let's go out and take a look at the compressor. All right, so this is the pad that we put out here for the compressor. I'm gonna take the wood off of there and bolt it down to the concrete. But I ran the wiring out to here, so it's plugged in, and this is a soft cord, so that way it can move around a little bit. So what I need to do for this, which is gonna be the project I'm gonna start on today, is I need to build a doghouse over it. So that way when it rains, all of this doesn't get ruined and messed up, and the electrical in particular. So that's all in there, and I believe, yeah. So got it all working out here. So I got to build the doghouse, and then this, got to deal with this. This is all going to come off, and then it's going to get routed in, and we're going to plumb the shop with electrical. So pretty excited about the whole deal. Well, I'm going to wrap the video up right now. I'll make another one with the other pieces after I get that doghouse built out there, and I'll get the loft, the little shelf, freestanding shelf / loft, whatever thing's built. We'll get that done. And then also Bean's workbench. Maybe we'll make a video on just the workbench, because what we did was the big bench I have here, I bought years ago, I bought a 4x8 sheet of the steel, and I had it cut in half and then cut in half again. And so my older son, Ben, he made his own workbench, welded it himself. He was 5 when he did it. But he welded it all together himself with a 2x4 piece. And the other 2x8 piece is my workbench. And then I saved the other 2x4 piece for Bean. And we should have built him a bench a long time ago, but I just didn't have the room for it out here. Well, now he's got his dedicated area, so maybe we'll do a video of him making his own bench. I think that'd be a great idea. So anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please do it. And thank you to the new subscribers. I greatly appreciate you guys hitting that button for me. And make sure you tell your friends and let me know what you think. And until next time, stay safe.